The ref's blown the whistle. We are back. We have been in the sin bin, but rest assured, we are back. It's the brothers. It's the Larry Taylor with the Tony Rosina. Tony, how you been, mate?
Oh, it's good. It's good to be back, Larry. Like you said, we were in the bin for a little bit. Life got busy, but we're back. We're here to bring the best content you can get NRL-wise. So take it away, Larry. You're our host today, and let's jump straight into it.
I am, and look, apologies for the mini sabbatical. Both Tony and I have had teams going through rough patches. Like Tony said, life gets in the way, but rest assured, we are back to bring you the best rugby league content there is in the YouTube world, but not even YouTube, all of rugby league. Who are we kidding ourselves? But let's rip in, mate. Let's look at round 8 and give you some tips and a bit of an analysis. Let's start with the Broncos and the Sharks. This game has the potential to be a little bit of anything, to be honest. I mean, the Bulldogs doing what the Bulldogs do, allowing clubs to play themselves back into form. But I have to be honest, I thought the Broncos' second half comeback was so strong. Adam Reynolds at the heart of everything that they do. But, man, coming against the Sharks, even at home, it's going to be a tough ask.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously, like you said, that game has the potential to spark Reynolds. He had a bit of a slow start to his career at Brisbane. He slowly started picking it up week in, week out. And he was exceptional in that second half. Now, this game could get ugly if the Broncos don't play a full 80-minute performance. If they play that first 40 minutes like they did against the Bulldogs, you're not going to find yourself down by 1 or 2 tries. You're going to find yourself down like Manly by about 32 points. In saying that, I am going to go to Sharks. I think it's going to be a blowout. I just look at that lineup, the way they're playing. Nicho Hynes, Matty Moylan, Talakai, Larry. What an absolute baller. He's got to be in that Origin squad 100%. I can see this going 13 plus to Cronulla.
Man, Talakai, so much has been said about him. I mean, I didn't even have him as a center if you told me before the season kicked off. And now there's talks about him playing there for Origin. I mean, there is a Latrell Mitchell-sized hole on that left-hand edge. So, you know, given the level of performance he is putting in, it's definitely a valid argument. We will wait and see. Are we saying Sharks 13 plus? I think we're unanimous on that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, Sharks 13 plus. Another game talking about 13 plus. Gold Coast Titans host the Penrith Panthers. Titans. I don't know what to say about them. I mean, again, you know, on paper, they're honestly not horrible. I think struggling a little bit with consistency, form, and confidence. Panthers, the only side that remains undefeated. I can't see them dropping a point here.
Yeah, 100%. Like you said, this Titans squad, it's still very young, Larry. They're still a bit inexperienced in key areas now. I think in years to come, you're going to see this team flourish if they can keep these players together. You've got Brimson, you've got Sexton, you've got Brian Kelly, you've got Sammy, you've got Herbert, you've got these players that can perform, but this is the Penrith Panthers. And I get it's not a home game, but this is the Penrith Panthers. Like, we spoke last week, Larry. We said there was, 3 teams, I think you said? I think you're going to chuck. We chucked the Sharks in. We said Storm. We said Para, 4 teams. And we said Melbourne. I don't think anyone's touching Penrith this year. I don't think anyone's touching Melbourne this year. And I think it's going to be a replay of that grand final come the end of the season.
Yeah, at the moment, you're brave man tipping against that. Can I ask you, on the Panthers, I think we're unanimous once again, but do you see them losing a game in the regular rounds? I guess that's my question. They honestly have the potential to go through, maybe through the Origin period with a few losses potentially in terms of personnel, but otherwise they're looking strong. I mean, I say that Cleary goes down. You got Sean O'Sullivan, who's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, obviously, massive shout out to Sean O'Sullivan. Obviously, did get his contract. He will be playing first team football next year with the Dolphins. That shows you the quality they have if Cleary does go down. They have a first grade player to replace him. Larry, if I'm being honest, I don't even see him losing during Origin. Look at the squad. Look at the performances they've put up. One player goes down. That Sonny Luke debuts on the weekend, does his job, smashes it out, gets the win. Cleary's out for 3-4 weeks at the start of the season. In he comes, does his job, they get the win. The only game I see him losing is Melbourne.
Yeah, look, I mean, other than Melbourne, that's the only side you can see him potentially taking points. Parramatta as well, to be fair. But, yeah, I think they'll definitely go well. But before we turn this into a Penrith Panthers video, I think we're, again, unanimous. Titans will – I think they'll put a good spirit, but I think the Panthers will run on top of them for sure.
Yeah.
This one's probably the hardest tip for me this week. Rabbitohs Eagles, two very inconsistent sides. When they're on, they're on. When they're off, they're definitely off. Rabbitohs, I don't know what to make of them. I mean, they again dominate the Bulldogs, but again, they're looking patchy at times. Rabbitohs Eagles, flip of a coin. How do you see it?
I'll be honest, at this stage, I do have my tip on the Rabbits now. Like you said, it is a flip of a coin. I might end up putting it in one of those little generators where it flips a coin on Google for you. But both fullbacks out, both massive gaps. Trbojevic, reportedly, I don't know if you've heard this, Larry, this will be his last game out. He should return against the Tigers next weekend. Massive boost, but it also says there's players here that need to prove a point for Manly. Why do you deserve to still be in this squad when Trbojevic comes back? So I'm going to keep with Souths just purely at the moment, but I'm going to go 1 to 12, and I'm going to go as low as going 1 to 6, no matter who wins this game.
Man, if you're the Rabbitohs, that loss against the Tigers was a real kick in the gut. So I think I'll be going for, I'll say South Sydney to bounce back. I just think 1 to 17, they're a better side, but we'll wait and see for sure. I think, and I agree that, Ruben Garrick, he's not a fullback for me. I think you're taken away from him. He'll definitely look forward to returning on the wing, but yeah, I think South's in a tight one. I think I agree with you there. Are we going to disagree on a tip? Maybe this one. Warriors, Raiders. Jeez, the definition of inconsistency. Warriors. When was the last time a side conceded 70 points in an NRL game? Unheard of. Mate, seriously, has that happened in your lifetime? I can't recall ever seeing that. They just capitulated.
I did read something, Larry. The coach of the Warriors, I think it was back in 2000, the last time Melbourne actually won a game or scored 70 points, he was the captain of that side. He's now come and coach this game, and he's copped 70 points by Melbourne. So the last 2 times have involved this coach as a player, as a captain, and now as a coach. Now, this might shock you. I don't know how you're leaning with here, Larry, but surely you've gone to training, you've put in the effort. I'm saying the Warriors have a point to come out and prove here. I'm looking at Reece Walsh. Step up, mate. I know you're young. Show some leadership. I'm going Warriors in a close one, and that's my upset of the round.
Oof. You're brave. I'm going Raiders, mate. I'm going Raiders. I thought Raiders, who did they verse? I'm having a mind blank. Who did Raiders verse? It was on Penrith.
They play Penrith, yep.
I thought they were in the game for about 50 minutes and then again gave away. Warriors, if you look at their first half, not bad actually. Just the second half undid everything. It was a shambles. I think both sides are mentally fragile. I will go as far as to say the team that scores first here will likely win the football game because I just think both sides confidence-wise are shot. So whoever strikes first will run with it. It's that close ability-wise. I think the Raiders got just enough. So we're going to disagree on this one. Either way, I think it'll be tight. I'll say around that 12-point mark. High-scoring game, though. I think that's definitely on the cards.
Mate, do Warriors play defense? Is there any chance of this not being a high-scoring game? They just copped 70
points. It's going to be a hell of a game of touch football, for sure. Mate, you and I have made no point of this. We go head-to-head this week. Bulldogs, Roosters. All right. I'll focus on what the Dogs have done. We can go on this one a bit more. It's our sides. I think it's only right that we do that. Jacob Averillo returns. I thought forgetting his name, Jacob Kiraz. He looked great last week. Powerful, strong. He's not eligible to play first grade until round 11. So for the Bulldogs fans out there pulling their hair out, he wasn't a choice, even if you wanted him to be. He was because he's not in the original top 30 squad. So let's put a line through there. There's some reports Phil Gill again back in the press apparently took charge of training. Phil Gill hits back at the media saying him and Trent Barrett have agreed on it. Apparently gave a mouthful to the spine. Roosters last start losers against the Dragons in a game that you'd argue they should have won and have their own problems in their spine. What is this game going to give? Who has more issues? Dogs rooted at the bottom of the table. Talk to me.
I think it's a difference of if you say who has more issues based on what our expectation were, it's the Roosters. Now, I look at that number 7 position, Luke Keary, Kyle Flanagan. If you're telling me which player is playing better for their team at the moment, it's Flanagan because Keary just looks lost in that number 7. You've got a halfback. And like we said, I'll go into a video on this. I'll talk it. So if you're a Roosters fan, tune into our video I will do later this week. It's going to go into depth of what I think about this lineup. But Sam Walker is a natural number 7, Larry. Luke Keary is a natural number 6. Yet we've switched their positions and we've said, Luke Keary, go in there and take charge. And it just looks like we're trying to be individuals rather than play as a team. And we're trying to win games based on Joey Manu breaking 5 tackles and scoring a try, or I don't know. But to me, if you're looking at the Dogs, okay, yes, we had them 8th, we had them 9th, but they're getting better each week. And not in a whole, but there's certain players that are getting better each week. Now, obviously, Adokar, he stepped it up. He's getting his tries now. Against the Roosters that are struggling to score points, they're not looking very good in attack. 1 or 2 tries to Adokar could determine this game, but I look at the Roosters and I look at that 1 to 17, and I just think there's too much international talent there, Larry, and I think we do get the job done, and I think we bounce back in style.
Yeah, I have to agree. I want to tip the Dogs, but you can't. And the thing is, I do agree with you. I think, look, Bulldogs fans, I got to be honest, I think are a really fickle bunch in the sense that when they look at it, they're looking purely at the scoreline at the end. The Dogs have improved. They genuinely have. If you're looking at the performance over the 80 minutes, 1 minute to 50, they're playing well, but they're not converting their opportunities into points. And I think that's what killed them against the Broncos. Dominated their line, looked better. Best football I've seen from them so far this season. But they didn't convert enough of that pressure into points. And then they ran out of steam, and then Broncos ran over the top of them. And I thought the difference there, you say Flanagan's been the better of the halves. Adam Reynolds was ultimately the difference last week. I think if Adam Reynolds was in a blue and white shirt, the Dogs run away with the victory. So there is still a bit of pressure there. Burton looks better. Still, there's an argument suggesting maybe he's not a 5'8". I'm not going to buy into that. I think he is. But it's just a matter of time. Look, it's a really difficult one. I think the Dogs are really Marshall King for me is a weaker point. I think he's such a strong runner.
I'll also jump in. Sorry, Larry, just because I know you were at work. I don't know if you've heard the news. Your captain, Jackson, he's actually gone into COVID protocol, so he will not play in this game.
Yeah, not well aware of that, but I did forget. So there you go. It'll be interesting to see who comes in. I'd imagine looking at the lineup, I'd say they'll probably throw Matt King in there, or Sua Mafungai, and then they'll look to bring on one of the props onto the bench, I imagine. We'll wait and see there. But, yeah, look, I think Roosters will win 13+. I really do. I would love to sit here and tell you there's a chance of a Dogs victory. I don't see it. I think Roosters 13+.
Yeah, 100%.
That was depressing. Let's talk about something else. Eels Cowboys. Again, Cowboys, another one. Inconsistency. I've got to say, Eels as well. Yes, last start winners. I haven't been impressed, though. I think after a promising start, they've kind of dipped off a little bit. I don't know. What do you make of this one? There is potential for an upset for me here. I don't anticipate it. I'm going to say Parramatta, but I think the Cowboys are capable of an upset.
Yeah, and obviously you definitely rode the Cowboys off this year. You did have them quite low. I had them a little bit higher. I think looking at how the teams are performing around them, I think it's safe to say the Cowboys are charging. What was that, sorry?
Last start winners. They made easy work of the Titans last week, Cowboys.
Yeah, 100%. And I honestly think this is a team that's charging towards the finals. I think they're going to play finals. They're going to do it very convincingly. But I'm going to go with an upset here. And there's only one reason I'm going to do it. And hear me out here. Jake Arthur should not be playing at number 6. Dylan Brown should not be in the centers. Stop putting your son in those playmaking positions. Let Dylan Brown and Moses gel, because that's what you need come finals time. That's what you're going to have there when you're gelling. Get a center in there who's an actual center. Let Dylan Brown play in his position. And for that reason, I'm going the Cowboys in a close upset.
Yeah, I think that's a really dangerous game Brad Arthur's playing there. Gotta say. I feel like no one's making a point out of it. Dylan Brown's a 5'8". I don't know. I don't understand that. What do you think that is? Do you think he's just trying to get him running the ball a bit more? I don't get it. And with all due respect, Jacob Arthur, he looks solid. For me, he's a backup half. He's not quite NRL level half.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think he's at half position. Like, you know what? He might be the future. Who knows? They might be thinking, okay, we're struggling to sign Moses. Let's see what he can do there and seeing if we can throw him and Dylan Brown at some point throughout the season. But I know you've got injuries in the center positions, but mate, go grab someone from reserve grade, slot him in there, give him his chance, and let Moses and Brown prepare for that rest of the season.
On Moses, is there any possibility he doesn't stay with Parramatta, you think?
I think that honestly depends on Munster. I think if Munster was to leave in 2024, Melbourne are going to throw the book at obviously Moses. Now, I think it's all about money. I think Moses will sign a contract within the next 6 months, but there's always that potential of Storm and Munster, or if Munster goes and signs somewhere else in the next 12 months when his contract's up, there's always that potential that Melbourne throw 1 mil, 1.1 at Moses. And in the end, even if he has to take a little bit of a pay cut, he wants to win a premiership. And if he's not doing that at Parramatta, Reid Mahoney's jumping ship. There's no guarantee Moses won't.
We said it, didn't we? We said it at the start of the season. It's now or never for Parramatta. So good headaches there for Brad Arthur. So we're saying the Eels in a tight one?
I've gone Cowboys in a tight one. We're going opposite here.
Ooh, all right. Man, I got to say, Cowboys humming away, you know, sitting pretty in fifth. They've done well. I tipped them to come last. What do I know? Night Storm. This got potential to be ugly.
No, hold on. We're not even talking about this.
Don't want to hear it. Let's move on. Talk about the game.
Storm by 30. I think they're going to roll them 30 plus. I said at the start of the season, Knights didn't impress me, and whether it's the Ponga drama and it's going to clear up over the next couple of weeks, I don't know, but they do not look like an NRL team that deserves to be playing NRL. And if they keep playing like that, they're a team that's gone from here and they're going down. The Dogs, although they haven't shot up in form, there's players improving. If they're not careful, Newcastle, they're going to find themselves taking home the wooden spoon this year.
Oh, wow. You think so?
I just think the Dogs have talent, man. If I look at that roster, and we kind of expected, we spoke about this after 7 rounds, if the Dogs have 1 or 2 wins on the board, Larry, we said it's expected. Looking at the games they had. Newcastle, they got the win against the Roosters. They got the win against the Tigers. There's nothing much else they've done since then. They fought against Penrith, got blown out. They then got blown out. They then got blown out. They then got blown out. Like, it's scary times if you're a Newcastle fan. And is Ponga controlling that club? Are the players starting to get pissed off? Who knows? But it's definitely quite ugly.
Yeah, he's player/CEO Kalen Ponga. He's castrarized the coach, I think. Anyway, before I talk about people getting neutered, I'm going to agree with you, mate. I'm going to say Storm 30 plus. I think it might get a bit ugly for the Newcastle fans. Sorry to say. Dragons, Tigers. This is an interesting game. And I would have said it would be a wooden spoon potential battle a few weeks ago. But Tigers, 2 on the bounce. Funny how winning games changes everything, isn't it? Coach was under pressure. Tim Sheens is being undermined. They win 2 games. Luke Brooks in the form of his life. It's all humming along out at Campbelltown or Balmain, depending on which side of the fence you sit. But nonetheless, Dragons, though, great win. When was it? 2 nights ago? 2 nights ago against the Roosters. Ben Hunt, wonderful. Jack Bird looked good in that 5'8" spot. Tough one here. I'm going to say Dragons in a tight one.
It's hard for me to tip against the Dragons, especially after what they did to the Roosters. Now, yes, we're not at our best, but a lot of people are just using that as an excuse if the Roosters aren't at their best. That's why the Dragons won this game, though. The Dragons took that game to us, and we were lucky it wasn't 30, 40 points. Like, Tupu should have gone to the bin. I'm going to sit here. We all know it. We've all seen it. He should have gone to the bin, and you probably put another 12, 14, 15 points on us. Now, this game here, Larry, for everyone that thinks me and Larry just sit here and talk shit every week, we called for Hastings to be in control, about 6 weeks ago, Larry? We said that Hastings needs to be put in control. So we obviously know what we're talking about. Madge, you're welcome. If you want to send us a paycheck, just put it in a brown paper bag. That's how we deal. Get us on the VIN. But I just see this as obviously Dane Laurie. He is out. He is injured. I think that's a big loss for the Tigers. I'm going to go Ben Hunt as a very underappreciated player, and he's going to take the man of the match in this game and take it out again.
Ben Hunt is so good. I've seen Dragons fans criticize him. I've seen respected former NRL players say he should be a hooker. Please. He is such a good halfback. And I personally, I rate him higher than Daly Cherry Evans. He should be the 7 for Queensland for me. But anyway, like you said.
The biggest problem with Hunt is no matter what he does for the rest of his career, he's going to be remembered by one moment. And that's the sad reality of what the internet does to you. The day he retires, he's going to be remembered for that drop ball. Now,
yeah,
some people, Dragons fans, say he needs to take more control of the game. I think that's BS. What he's doing, how he's playing, is the way you need him to play if you want to be a serious contender for this top 8.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know. I've got to say, though, look, Dragons look good. If they can continue to build, and you know what? I got to give a little bit of a round of applause for Anthony Griffin, too. He got criticised from pillar to post for pulling young kids out. Tyrell Sloan, of note. And I think he's coming out the other side of that now. So good for Anthony Griffin. Dragons in a tight one, or do you think it'll blow out a little bit?
Mate, Tigers just have grit. They might not score points, but they're going to keep teams close. So Dragons in a tight one, 1-12.
Who would have said that Tigers are going to keep things close? Good on them. Seriously, I'm happy for Madge. I really am. Honestly, I thought the criticism was so harsh. And you look at their team on paper, most people would tell you they're a bottom 2 side. So why are we outraged when a bottom 2 side is, I don't know, going to finish in the bottom 2? You know what I mean? I just give the guy a break. NRL's some of the pundits in rugby league are honestly embarrassing. The treatment of Kalen Ponga the other week when he was deciding what to do. I seen the likes of like Buzz Rothfield and such criticizing. What do you want him to do? He didn't write the clause into his contract. You know what I mean? I find some of the punditry in the NRL embarrassing.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, you look at the differences when it's a big team now. Munster, have we heard much about him? No, but he's doing the exact same finish just a year early. It's who the player is, what clubs he's at, and who has the respect of the media. Storm have respect of the media, it stays out. Knights don't have respect of the media, and they blow it up to try and cause drama.
Spot on. Mate, it's been a good wrap, that. Round 8 preview, done and dusted. Jeez, it's late. I can't talk. But if you are new here, make sure you do hit that subscribe button. Make sure you are liking the video. And if you don't hit that like button, and if you don't subscribe, Tony's going to tell you what you need to do.
You're an absolute idiot, and you're going for 10.
You're going for 10. Mate, been a pleasure. Enjoy your rugby league this week, and we'll catch you next week for the 10 things we'll learn out of round 8.
Go to Roosters.
Get out of here. Cheers.